Hello, everybody. This is Genevieve Young. I'm so happy to have this fun conversation with another hot seater. So today we're going to be speaking about the receiving mode once again. So this is my third guest on the same topic. So the reason why I'm doing this is to have different perspectives of different topics of Abraham Hicks, whatever they're teaching, so that we can really learn through the hot seaters experience. And today I'm happy to have Turk Arkbay with me. So let me have, yes, hello, Turk. So how are you?
Good morning. I'm great. I hope you are.
I'm,
While
yes,
I was on backstage, my neighbors are having some tree work done. Can you hear me fine?
I hear you perfectly. There's no problem there. Yeah. Thank you
Awesome.
for
Yeah.
being there. So, Turk, tell us a little bit about your story with Abraham. How did you discover their teachings?
I've been a student of law attraction longer than the time I met Abraham Hicks crew. So I'm really into old books, and I was reading a lot of these from turn of the century. People are talking about the law attraction by its name from 1900s. That predates, secret and all that. But my wife lent me a cassette tape. That's how far we go, of Abraham's teaching, and Esther is talking, and I'm like, who is this person? And so I thought it was a scam. So I went to my first meeting trying to figure out what was the scam about this person who was sharing this stuff. And then it was in Asheville, and I stood there. I could just feel the energy of all this like realness, and I was hooked. And then ever since then, I've been going to all the Asheville's, Land Cruises, and other events too.
Yeah, we've met in Cancun's land cruise. That was the first time we met. So you've been in the hot seat many times. How many times? Do you remember? Do you know? Yeah.
No, I don't. It's been a lot, and I have, like, I put them all on my own file, and then I have nearly 4 hours of conversations in hot seat.
I
It's a
know. I've
lot.
listened to them. So, yeah, so I choose to talk about the receptive mode with you because I thought you had a very interesting conversation with Abraham about that topic. As we said just prior to our conversation today, it's been an evolving, I would say, situation for you, just like for all the other hot seaters. Usually, when you start having conversations with Abraham, you understand something and then it evolves to something else, you know? So, I have decided to segment your hot seat in three different parts. So I would like to start with the first part, and then I'll ask you a few questions about that, and we'll just pursue with the others.
Perfect.
All
Let's do
right?
it.
Okay, let's start.
Thank you. Hello, Abraham. I need a little more clarification. So, are you suggesting the thought that we receive at the moment of perception, it forms into a form? So, it's some sort of vibration. And then when I'm receptive enough, I'm able to receive it. But it is not a thought that's formed. It forms in my brain at the moment of perception.
How about that? You are the one that makes it tangible. You are the one who brings the vibration to something meaningful. That's what perception is. This world that you are observing, it's perceptual. You're translating vibration through your eyes. Your eyes are vibrational interpreters. Your ears, your nose, your fingertips, your tongue. You're interpreting vibration. Your solar plexus, the most magnificent of vibrational interpreters. Not just suggesting it, we're shouting it from the rafters.
Yeah. So we're interpreting vibrations all the time. That's what we're doing. That's the receptive mode, is it? Would you say that this is how we're receiving?
I'm so happy that you chose that, and I was really ecstatic because that was a game-changing conversation for me. Again, when I was looking for trying, like when I was looking through this, I was thinking, am I thinking the thought, or is there, if everything is created by God, universe, whatever you call it, if there is a destiny or kismet is writing it, and say, this is to become, and then is there like, does that thing picks me, or do I pick it?
Hmm.
So that was, and it's so amazing that how I sound on that recording, because I tell people when on hot seat there was such exchange of energy that I thought I was
Hmm.
speaking in a normal voice, and then I would listen to it. I'm like, what was I on? It's like the words are not coming out right. In my brain, I think formulate this question, sit on a hot seat is like Abraham is like, I got you. There's this relaxation, and then it becomes Tarzan, Jane, Tarzan, Jane. It's bizarre.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know. I know what you mean.
so but the reception is yes. So go ahead and ask. Sorry, I'm blabbering. It's your show.
Yeah. Yeah, but so my question is about the recept. So, when Abraham says if you're on 99.8 on the channel 99.8, you cannot receive whatever is going on the channel 103.4,
Yeah,
So, what I really understood from your question is that we're on a vibration frequency, and this is depending on the emotion that we're feeling. And then we're attracting or receiving whatever is on the same frequency.
yeah. So my understanding, and again, that was the backstory on the question, is, and Abraham said, I don't know if it was in this or not, but it is exactly right. So we are vibrating. The full, what we call this physical body is a vibration. And eyes are vibrating, whatever is the color waves, and the ears are detecting and reading those sound waves, and then our brain, our consciously what we're able to control, is actually processing all these and gives it a shape. And so
Yeah,
if this is
translates
true,
it. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
translation. And so when Abraham was saying that, I was like, oh, I get it. It's not just like me interpreting it, but my physical body in real time is just like a camera or like a microphone, is just recording things. And so
Yeah.
then what they're saying is where your brain is equals your vibration only gives you a certain range. So if I was pissy all day and my inner being is giving the best it can give, well, it's giving the best it can give 88.7 because I'm pressuring this with my consciousness. But once I raise my vibration to, let's say, 200, now when the best my inner being gives is going to be the best of 200. So even the best or even the worst of that frequencies are going to make the difference. So
Yeah.
this, when we tie this up with segment intending or really like checking our vibration, that's a game changer. Because as long as you're vibrating at high vibration, bad things doesn't come to you, or when they come to you, you don't go, oh, I'm in pain. You go, learning experience. Step 5, let's move on.
Yeah, that's a good. I love your definition of all this. And what I like to teach to people that are asking, like, what is the frequency? How can I know what is the range of the frequencies? I like to talk about Dr. Hawkins. I don't know if you know him, but
Oh
I've
yeah.
also heard, yeah. So he did a map of consciousness, and he tested people with vibrational energies from 0 to 1,000. and it is very similar to what Abraham says. So I did, just in case people are interested, I have this little document of Dr. Hawkins with all the frequencies numbers, so you can really know that when you're in love and joy, emotions, well, this is high frequency. If you're in guilt or shame, this is lower frequencies. And Abraham also has the scale, the emotional guidance scale, which looks a lot like Dr. Hawkins' emotion. So it's just to give a guideline so people know, how do I know when I'm feeling like in a, when my frequency, my vibrational frequency is high or low. So I just wanted to point out those, tools to really be able to translate their own frequencies. Okay,
Power
so
versus
I love
Source.
that.
That book you're referring to was, I read that many years before I read any of the Abraham stuff. And then that's a 3-set book. And then the third set of those books called I, the presenter,
The eye
whatever,
of the eye.
perceiver.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like, I need PhD to understand that. It's
yeah.
like the whole book is
I
highlighted.
know. Exactly. But there's a lot of videos also on YouTube if ever anyone is interested in that. So, okay, so let's jump into the second segment that I really appreciate, where you're talking about the soup of thoughts. And I think that was something relevant in your experience also. So let's go there.
So I thought it was a rendezvous with an existing thought, that where we kind of rise to it and received it. But what I think I hear you say is there's a soup of things that are out there, and then when I receive it, at that moment it forms into it.
Well, let's clarify this. Let's say there is a soup of thoughts, but you have been fine-tuning and organizing the soup for a very long time, even before you got here. And since you've been here in your sifting through contrast, you have been further organizing the soup into specifics of desire. And your inner being has further been tending to the specifics of that. And law of attraction has been organizing still further. So there already is a creation that you have set into motion, that law of attraction has caused to get bigger and bigger and bigger, that is ready for the plucking or ready for the perceiving. But you've got to be in the vibrational wavelength that lets you perceive it, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, please tell me more about that. How did you interpret all that, and how did you integrate this in your life?
So lots of people that you're interviewing are my friends from when we go to events, that whether it's Nick or a whole bunch of people, Costa, and we usually meet because we're the groupies that's like in the front, just waiting for that energy and all these things. And so as far as this thing was really, for me, it goes a little bit further, because when you're in hot seat, there's an energy exchange also. You already know this. So the words is for the audience, but the actual exchange of energy in Abraham, in fact, this is what I tell people, is like, I don't even care about the question, because I know when I'm sitting in the hot seat and this exchange is happening with Esther, thank you, and Abraham, when they come, I feel my vibration is going to a higher vibration that I could do consciously. So that connection is, I think, the core of this thing. Yes, there's a soup, but it's not just me, Turk, who was born in 1970 soup, but it's all these generations and all these people, there's all these painters and the musicians, and my great grandfather, when he was looking at the sky and dreaming. And since we were all, so there's the soup. But now Abraham said, oh, but it's evolving, because now that I'm here, I know what I do like, I know what I don't like. My great-grandfather maybe wanted me to have a horse, but I want to have a Tesla. So there's this refinement is happening in this process. And then as I am learning and more about the vibration, and I hang out with you and I hang out with other people and I go do these things. And so now, my vibration is here. And then when I go there, my great grandfather, when he was wishing that I would have all the horses I want, what he really wanted for me to be comfortably going to places, just as for the future generations, I dream of them hopping into their spaceship and going to different planets. I won't see it, but when they're having it, I will see it. It's just not
Yeah.
this Turk will see it.
Yeah, you will see it through the eyes of Source. And I love your analogy because I always say I'm my great grandmother's dream. That's what I am sure that's what I'm doing right here, right now. I love that. Okay, so Abraham says, and you also told me, like, so they're talking about the vibrational wavelength, and you told me that this brought you to understand the calibration process.
Yes. So
So,
this was before Abraham was talking about calibration, but I was in a hot seat, and I don't know if it's this one or another one. So Abraham was saying, and this has been my question for a few times in different versions of this question of understanding. Am I my thoughts, or are the thoughts thinking me? And then this is a perfect unification. Now I understand. You can tell this for the listens, audience, or your viewers, that how you feel is the key. But so what shifted for me is, and in one of the hot seats, Abraham said, there's a lightning strikes and then there's thunder. Which one is first? And I
mm,
go, lightning. Abraham said, no, it's a simultaneous event. Your eyes interpret it faster than your ears, but the event has happened at that moment. You're just seeing it before you're hearing it, but that event has taken place already. So when I connected that with this conversation, so when I dream it, it already happened. This is not seeing it yet because lightning hasn't struck, and I'm not hearing it, or I'm not touching it, or I'm not tasting it yet, but it's happened. And if I keep vibrating at it didn't happen, it
mhm,
can't come. And that's the other thing Abraham
mhm.
says, you know, it happens, but you can keep it indefinitely away from you by adding more resistance. So that's what
Yeah.
helped me. So now I calibrate to happiness, not the money, although sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like I'm dealing with a business problem, and I go, I'm not calibrating lack of business problem. I'm calibrating is I'm not moved with these little things. What does that feel like? And then I put it here and I really think about it. And so I'm essentially forcing my tuners to the vibration that I want them tune. So when my eye sees, it sees at that vibration. When my ear hears, it hears in that vibration. And so that's calibration, as I understood
Yeah.
in the last cruise.
Interesting. And do you see changes in your life when you apply that? It really works? It really, yeah? Tell us about that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, happens all the time. So I'll start with a terrible one. I'll start with a good one. So I'm making a business move. I'm literally in the middle of this. I'm making a business move, and then I'm walking on a gray line. But I was putting it like in the future tense. I was like, oh, this is gonna happen. These people will do this. They don't even know. I'm just projecting that. 6 months ago. And so 6 months passed. I'm making the move that I want. Guess how are they responding? Exactly
It's-
as I put it out there. Because it can't be any other way, because I put my tuner to whatever the crappy radio station. So of course it's gonna play crappy radio station. So
Mm,
the other day I was dealing with some bank issues. And then I'm like, I'm already pissed off. These guys. And then I go, hey, Turk, relax, dude. It's fine. While I'm dialing, just quickly,
mm,
fine, fine. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So I'm consciously changing my vibration. It's all good. It's all good. After the 10th one, I'm actually believing it. And then the 15th one, by the time I'm done with the hold, I say, hey, I'm having this issue. I wonder if you can help me. The person is like, yeah, I can help you. Done. I go, yeah, this is how
Oh,
quickly it can happen. And it happens all the time. Like, yeah, I'd like to be more conscious creator, less default. I'm working
yeah.
on it every day.
Deliberate creation. Exactly. Yeah,
That's the
we love
problem.
that. Exactly. Okay, so let's go to the third part and then we'll end our conversation with that.
It's not random stuff out here. It's creation. It's creation that you are about. That's why through the years we've looked for different ways of explaining this to you, that you have created a vibrational reality. And it's not random, it's specific. It's not general, it's specific. And it's not unattached to you. It's very much about you, you see. It is you. It's the expanded version of you that now this physical, thinking, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching version of you is wanting to bring into further reality, into further perceiving, into further satisfying experiencing.
I understand.
It's one thing to launch the rockets. That can be very satisfying. It's one thing to create a vibrational reality. That is so satisfying. You've made brilliant realities. But it's something else even more. When you find a way to hone into the vibrational frequency of who you really are and all that you've become, and you allow a further perception, one that is so solid that others can see it, so solid that it spins in its orbit for more than you have measurement of time, so solid that it spins in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets. You're not new at this. You've been at it for a very long time. You're not slipping from perfection. You're moving toward it. Never-ending, eternal unfolding of well-being.
Thank you.
I love that. I love that. So I really want to say, when Abraham says you have to own into the vibrational frequency of who you really are. So we are the highest frequencies. And when we add resistance to it, then we are disconnect from who we really are.
Yeah. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is Abraham is
And
always
then
very kind to
if
me.
you can really, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but we do understand in that conversation that if you really own it, if you really, and it is what you just said before we were listening to that segment with your bank experience. So you really owned it and you really believe that something, you could find a solution to that. And then it became solid in your experience. It became the real thing in your own reality.
Yeah. It's the creation, right? I heard this multiple times. We're not here for creations, we're here for creating. Like the purpose of life for
Mm.
us to want more, take that journey. Another conversation, Abraham said, you know why you want things? I go, I don't know why. Abraham is like, so your inner being can play with you. You go,
Mm.
oh, makes total sense now. It's
Mm.
well on this conversation as I'm hearing with these ears. I don't remember how
Mm.
old that was, but Abraham answers for the next 20 lifetimes. So
Mm.
it's about really is Abraham said, like I want the money, right? But not as a final goal, but in this journey of today experiencing this and putting it out there, having the miracle come in, yeah, celebration and this and that. Like Abraham always talks about the most exciting piece for the sculptor is the one that is sculpting, not the one it's sculpted already. So I keep
Mm,
reminding that to myself is I'm launching a
mm,
new company and I go, what I now know is I'm practicing it only inspired action. And when I'm pushing myself, I gotta send the emails, I gotta negotiate, I gotta wrestle this, and I
mm,
go, but what do I know? What can I do right now? I can chill out. I can just let the universe do. And that spinning
mm.
of the earth. I was thinking about that when I was walking my dog. Like I'm getting it now after 10 plus years of hot seat. And thank you so much for reminding me to realign with these things. I was like walking,
Mm.
I'm like, I'm just an observer. Relax. Relax. It's all good. Relax. Just watch unfold and appreciate. Don't shit on it. Sorry, but you know what I mean? It's like the problem is like, oh, learning opportunity. Not, I'm going to choke it down. That's my momentum is here. And then I go, let go.
Yeah.
All about vibration, attraction, attraction, attraction. And then it's cool.
Mm.
Just breathing more, relaxing more. Like it works out.
This is
Yeah.
so much for me, Turk. I so much appreciate that conversation. Thank you so much. Just before I started your interview, I was into that performance, battle within myself because my Wi-Fi is not that good here, and I was like, "Oh my God, how is it gonna be? Am I gonna be, and so whatever you just said really touched me to the core because this is what I want to be doing too. I just want to have fun with my inner being, fun with your inner being, and fun with all the Abraham Hicks energy inner beings that are connected there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate what you just said. So yeah, just we're here to have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting it now.
Yeah. So thank you. I think that's
Yeah.
the best way to end our fun conversation
Perfect.
about the receiving mode. And I really want to thank you for like that beautiful conversation we had, for all the hot seats, because you're always helping everybody, to go further. And this is what I love. This is why I'm doing this, because I believe that we're all connected and we're all there, to help each other going
Yeah.
forward and having fun.
Yeah.
I'll see you
Awesome.
soon, Turk. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah,
See you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you this Thursday with another fun conversation at noon is Eastern time. So till then, have fun. Bye bye.